News at 10.
Well, if you think you're frugal, and we all have to be these days, you haven't met the self-proclaimed cheapest man in America. Vermont native Roy Haynes is obsessed with saving money, and that is an understatement. An obsession that he says has only grown in this tough economy. Take a look. From the bathroom in his Huntington, Vermont home.
And there's enough to get at least another week out of that.
To the gas station.
Getting the last few drops out.
Roy Haynes is proud, after decades of being frugal, to be considered the cheapest man in America.
Kind of made a career out of it, and I've been between jobs for over 20 years.
That means rain ahead, but there really is not much more rain out there. 54. The dew point 39, a westerly wind at 13. The air is drying out. You know that by that temperature and dew point spread. It's been very close together the last few nights with the rain, now spreading apart, meaning the air is getting drier. And it's dropped to 47 Worcester, 49 Orange, while it's 50s right along the coastline and in eastern Massachusetts. Here's some more spotter reports coming in from all of you. Warm on the Cape, 55 degrees, relatively warm. 50 in Hooksett, New Hampshire, but 49 Milford and 46 in Warren tonight. Now, here's Doppler radar, live Doppler radar. Nothing happening in eastern and much of central Massachusetts, all of central Massachusetts, really. When you get out here to the west in the Berkshires, there's still some showers trying to make their way in from the capital region up here in Albany, New York, where there's some heavier downpours happening. These won't make it over the hills and into Worcester or Boston tonight. Southern New Hampshire, a couple sprinkles around Manchester, Raymond up toward Concord, New Hampshire, 93. Very weak, nothing to those. These up here, though, are heavier downpours right along coastal Maine. Far away, though, Bangor to Augusta and down through Portland, Maine at this hour. Had some heavy downpours with over 3 inches of rain in some spots, but Boston just about an inch of rain from this. So we still cut into that deficit, down 0.74 inches since January 1. We're near inches of rain. We've actually done much better recently, and we're cutting into those drought conditions, or those severe to moderate drought conditions, still technically in force, thanks to all the, well, the lack of moisture from the snow, or lack of snow too, this past winter, and the rain we hadn't gotten until recently. Another batch trying to slide toward us from the north, but in these situations, as the storm pulls away and everything tries to spin around the backside, tends to dry out as it comes over the hills. That's not to say we won't get a shower tomorrow. It's still possible. There are the clouds and showers trying to rotate through here tomorrow afternoon. There'll be widely scattered showers, but a fair amount of sunshine too. Saturday, though, high pressure builds in. That storm's gone. The next one's still yet to move in. A beautiful day Saturday. In the evening, the clouds start to arrive. Not the rain yet, but the clouds. And as a cold front dips toward us on Sunday, I'm going to put this in motion from 8 o'clock now Saturday night into Sunday morning, the clouds start to take over the area. I think on Mother's now, more clouds than sunshine. Saturday is the better of the 2 days. But as far as showers, later in the day, we'll start to see some popping up. I believe this is overdone by the computers. It'll be scattered showers Sunday afternoon and into the evening as that cold front slides on through. And those showers, because the front will be nearby, the threat anyway, will continue into Monday and into Tuesday as well. Now, temperatures this weekend ahead of that front are going to be nice and warm. In fact, ahead of a cold front, we typically have our warmest weather with westerly and southwesterly winds. So 75 on Saturday with that sunshine, 74 on Mother's Day despite the clouds. You get breaks of sun on Mother's Day, and temperatures could go even higher. So something we'll watch very closely. Of course, I'll have an important update for you coming up at 11. See you then.
Kevin,
you know that Mother's Day Sunday.
Yeah. Very well aware of that on a number of fronts.
I just reminding you every day. A lot of people these days still relying on unemployment to get them through.
But town and city managers from all over the state tell Fox 25 they're getting squeezed by people who are taking advantage of cracks in the unemployment system. Fox 25's Heather Hedges takes a closer look.
State-sponsored greed. Plain and simple.
It all started with a case that raised eyebrows out of the small North Shore town of Linfield, and a retired police officer collecting both a pension and unemployment from the town. But what really irked Linfield's town manager is what that cop was doing is perfectly legal. So Linfield and about 24 other municipalities took their complaints to the State House and Governor Patrick.
I'm going to get to the bottom of that. You can be sure of that.
By all accounts, the pension loophole is really just the tip of the iceberg. We did some digging and we got our hands on these documents from municipal leaders. They detail dozens and dozens of examples from across the state of city and town employees taking advantage of loopholes in the law at your expense. On the South Shore in Marshfield, bus drivers admitted to us they collect unemployment during school vacation weeks and in the summer.
You don't see it as taking advantage?
No, we don't get paid enough to begin with, so with no pension, no benefits, we got to get something.
So we get unemployment.
If we didn't get unemployment, they wouldn't have any bus drivers. Nobody could afford to work for that little bit of money.
The bus drivers aren't the highest compensated individuals. It's probably tough to fill those jobs. But I can tell you, from the eyes of the public, the taxpayer, it's probably not fair.
Marshfield's town manager, Rocco Longo, Chicago also tells us towns are getting killed by part-time employees, such as call firefighters. In the event they get laid off from their full-time job, the town, who is still employing them, gets stuck paying for some of their unemployment.
The town who's paying this individual rates on a very sporadic basis for being a call firefighter could be paying unemployment if they get laid off on the regular job.
In East Bridgewater, town treasurer Marilyn Thompson says they've dealt with the same scenario with substitute teachers. When someone is off, East Bridgewater gets stuck paying for a chunk of their unemployment check, even if those subs only work sporadically.
Do you think you're paying more in unemployment than they would have been making as a part-time worker?
Most of the time we do. You know, a lot of times they might make $75 a day, you know, to work as a sub, and then we're paying them $350 a week to collect unemployment.
In several instances, Thompson says East Bridgewater has been forced to pay unemployment to former employees who haven't even worked for years.
We've replaced you because we needed that position, so we have replaced you and paying for you to be on unemployment at the time.
Cities and towns may come off as cold-hearted for complaining about all of this, but they say the burden shouldn't be on municipalities who are already under duress. East Bridgewater also says a few years ago they were budgeting about $50,000 in unemployment costs a year. Today, that's tripled for them to $150,000 a year. Money they say could otherwise go towards public schools. And a few more examples of unemployment loopholes from cities and towns we spoke with. Seasonal employees like summer parks and rec counselors can apply for unemployment in the fall. Teachers who have been told they might not be rehired in the fall may collect all summer even though they're still being paid through August. Even town employees who are fired for things like stealing or lewd behavior have been able to collect. But the governor's reform bill addresses none of these examples except for the pension loopholes. Labor Secretary Joanne Goldstein says that's because some of the other issues may not need to be solved legislatively.
To a resolution of all of the issues involving retirees, school department employees, and categories of employees that have been